What movie could have been over in 10 minutes if the main character wasn't such a fool? Don't swim to the drop-off. Emo. Okay, Dad. Credits. Now would just lead to a different kind of film where an angsty child rebels in a different way, paints himself black with squid ink, acts depressed and listens to bands like My Nautical Romance and Fall Out Boy. I present to you, Nemo the Emo. If Mr. and Mrs. Bueller were anything like my parents, the movie would have been called Ferris Bueller's Day at School. If they were anything like my parents, they would have called my bluff, taken me to the doctor's office, and found out, to my own surprise as well, that I had bronchitis. Jurassic Park. If Hammond actually spared no expense. Hammond spared no expense. 15 minutes later. I told you how many times we needed locking mechanisms on vehicle doors. How the fuck do you have a T-Rex but not locks on the car door? Aladdin. If Jafar would have just paid Aladdin what he promised him, instead of betraying him at the cave, he would have had the lamp and become king, be mighty powerful. Aladdin just wanted his money in return for the lamp. For real. It's not like Aladdin would have been able to do anything about Jafar using the lamp. Pretty much anything on the Hallmark Channel. Wait, let me explain. I am dying of a women's disease. Home Alone. Yeah, sick, just forget about one of your kids. Home Alone 2. Congratulations on learning from your mistakes and managing to get your kid to the airport this time ... and he's gone. CPS. Yeah ... most people don't lose their kid once a year. We're gonna come over and see what's up. Emperor's New Groove. Yzma originally says that she could just turn him into a flea, put that flea in a box, put that box into another box, and eventually send it to herself so she could smash it with a hammer. Then she says to save on postage, she just used poison, which ends up not being poison. Even if she went with the original plan, he'd be a flea, and, for all intents and purposes, out of the picture pretty instantly. Yzma fucked herself trying to save like a quarter. Or if Kuzco wasn't a fool and saw past Yzma, or wasn't an asshole to everyone, which helped push the whole let's get rid of him mentality. School of Rock. Mrs. Mullins. Can I see your ID, Mr. Shibley? Dewey. Sorry, I don't have it, Mrs. Mullins. Sorry, you won't be able to teach the kids unless you have proof you're a teacher. Who you are. Credits. Hey man, she's under a lot of stress. You have no idea how angry these parents get. She wasn't always like this, you know. Not the main character, but Star Wars. The Empire grabs Leia's ship and the droids escape in a capsule. There's no life forms. Hold your fire. No, wait. Droids exist in this universe and could be carrying those plans Vader wants. Let's pull that ship in or dispatch some TIE fighters to intercept it or something. A short time later, sir, we pulled apart those droids. The golden one was useless, but the astromech had the plans. Vader, excellent. You will be rewarded for this. The main antagonist in Suicide Squad is a member of the team, Enchantress, who turned out to be evil and gains power thanks to some magic MacGuffin that the lady running the team uses to control her. Literally, the entire plot of Suicide Squad wouldn't have happened if they didn't bother assembling the fucking Suicide Squad. Edit. Wow, this blew up. Thanks for the awards. I never imagined my most updated comment would be about this piece of shit movie. Batman Begins. The Waynes shouldn't have left through the side exit of the theater. Just call Alfred and wait out front. Just hire a driver to pick you up at the entrance like every other elite rich person. Sleeping Beauty. Honey, we should invite Maleficent to our daughter's christening. I know she's the mistress of all evil, but it'd probably end up worse for us if we don't invite her. And then Maleficent insisted on one-upping the good fairies by giving Aurora the best gift. Over the hedge, RJ decided to be a dum-dum and steal all of the bear's food. Like, what did he think would happen? Even if he didn't accidentally wake him up, the bear would still have woken up a week later and probably would have known it was RJ. Edit. Although I suppose if RJ never stole the food, he would still be a con man and the forest animals likely would have starved to death that year, so. Dang, I haven't heard someone reference Over the Hedge in years, lol. John Wick. If Theon would have just killed John, considering they fucked Hun up pretty bad, not only would we not have gotten 3 movies, but Theon would be known as the person who killed Baba Yaga. Being the son of a crime lord and worldwide recognition for killing the most famous assassin on the planet would make the Tarasov family untouchable. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Just Porky Harry to the graveyard right off the bat, you fool. Well, if Voldemort had conjured a shotgun to kill Harry Potter, not even a mother's love would have saved him from that. But no, he had to be all melodramatic and Avada Kedavra, the little chosen one. He was a baby. You could do it with a bucket of water. Star Wars Episode 1. Not exactly 10 minutes, but Padme could have bought Anakin's mom and he would have probably never turned to the dark side. Republic credits may not be worth much on Tatooine, but I'm sure one of her jewel-encrusted headdresses is, or if anyone had asked Anakin how he was doing and if he wanted to talk. But the story of the prequels is essentially the old Jedi were stupid and kinda deserved it. Literally not picking Anakin to be Padme bodyguard when the sexual tension between them is thicker than Jabba. The Ring. Girl 1. Hey, do you wanna watch the tape that kills you in 7 days? Girl 2. No thanks. 28 days later. How about we don't let the disease rage monkey out of the cage? And with 28 weeks later, they really should have kept Han's wife locked up better. Star Wars. After discovering that Anakin could be very powerful with the Force, but had a lot of fear and attachment issues over his mother. The Council sends Obi-Wan back to Tatooine to buy his mother out of slavery and relocate her to Coruscant in a safe neighborhood. Anakin now knows that even without him in the picture, his mother will live a safe and happy life and can detach from her much more easily than leaving her alone on a savage world. And even if he isn't able to fully detach from her, he never has the impetus to slaughter the Sand People and kickstart his descent to the dark side. It's not a sure plan, but certainly one that would produce a version of Anakin who ends up resenting the Jedi just a little less. Maybe even enough to know slaughter younglings in the future. Not a movie, but Breaking Bad would have worked out much better for Walt if he had just swallowed his pride and allowed his old friend to pay for his cancer treatment. I know, right? My rich friend will pay for everything and all I have to do is play Candy Crush and eat Pop-Tarts, but you know what, I'm going to make drugs and kill people instead. Please, Lightning McQueen, change your tires in this pit stop. Okay. Tires wouldn't have blown in the last lap and he would have won, as he was comfortably leading the race. Asterisk, no need for a tiebreaker race. Avengers Infinity War. As soon as Maya and Cole landed in New York, Doctor Strange could have used the time stone repeatedly to his advantage. That's the whole problem now. At any point, he could have just I don't know, frozen time? Or stick those idiots in a time loop. Or just reverse time so they were ready for them. You can't have all-powerful time travel introduced because it makes every other problem you don't solve with it seem pointless and stupid. With luck in Doctor Strange 2 will discover the cost of using the time stone in the manner that he did. There has to be a cost. Forget movies. How I Met Your Mother took 9 years. A 5-minute story. Kids, I was at a wedding, and your mom was the bass player. The end. Frozen. The parents completely isolated Elsa from the world, leaving her with insecurity and anxiety. They also seemingly neglected Anna as her behavior was never in check, which is why she continuously butted her way into Elsa's space when she clearly needed some time alone to clear her head. Maybe if they'd actually talked instead of Anna's near assault on Elsa, something could have been worked out that didn't include running away and getting hypothermia in a semi-frozen river. Inside Out, in the scene where Sadness and Joy meet the two workers in the long term, they send the gum commercial memory through the wall, the little flap that opens if you push a memory through it, and up to headquarters. Why they didn't think of sending the core memories through that instead. Edited. Fixed the grammar. There's an entire theory that Joy actually thought of it but knew that Sadness would come to, so she kept it to herself. Later in the movie, when Joy takes the tube, she calls it a recall tube, which is weird because nobody has called it that in the entire movie. It's made obvious that Joy hates Sadness, so how ridiculous is it that Joy would risk it to make sure Sadness does not make it back? Gone with the Wind. If Ashley had just told Scarlett in plain English that he loved Melanie, then Scarlett would have given up chasing him. Instead, he would say things like, "She's like me, we're blood, they were cousins, we understand each other," etc. Scarlett misinterpreted that to mean he didn't love her, but was marrying her for other reasons. I don't know about where you live, but expecting rich Southerners to speak plain English to one another when doing so is sure to lead to public unpleasantness is slightly unrealistic. Remember when Star-Lord got mad and started smacking Thanos in the face? We could have skipped and, yes, he fucked it, but it's in his character. Remember when he just blasted away his father's not real body when he admitted he killed his mother? The dude had a problem with his feelings, and it's in character that he reacted that way. Sure, it fucked them over, but it's consistent at least. The visit. Kids, we're going to visit our grandparents. Mom, I don't want you to go, but if you feel like you really want to go, I'll drive you to their house. Mom, hey, y'all ain't my parents. I'm calling the police. I can't stand that the mother didn't apologize once in the movie for just leaving her kids with two crazy murderers.